What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Raptor Attack Podcast for all things gaming and geek. On my right hand side at the moment I have Ant Green, Aaron Powell. On my left, Sam Bush and Matt Crandon. This is a conversational podcast. Each of us is going to bring a topic, or has brought a topic, and then we're going to talk about it until we have no words left. That's how it's going to work.
Until
tomorrow, yeah, we'll probably text.
And it's going to go for a long time.
We're going to text about it, we're going to have more things to say.
Definitely.
You can find us at twitch.tv// like it's still 1990 something, / Raptor Attack UK. We're at Twitter at the Raptor Attack, and here on YouTube where you are this very second, unless it's embedded in Facebook, which is probably where people watch their YouTube videos these days. But if you do like us, head over to YouTube, follow the link, and please like, subscribe, comment and share. Tell your friends, that would really help us at the moment.
And like and re-like.
Spread the word.
You could always use more friends.
I mean, if you really like
take
us,
what you can get.
If you really like us, subscribe to us with each account you create after that for us, and then like the video and make more comments. Pretend you're having a conversation in the comments feed. That would be fantastic. We're going to jump straight into the topics at hand. Most of them we're going to stick to gaming and geek things today, and we're going to start with the right hand man.
I thought you
in my right hand.
It's been a while.
So, I'm right hand man. The topic I bring into the conversation today is, out of all the games, films, TV shows you've ever played, is there any you wish you could unplay or unsee and get that time back?
The time back as in to watch it again?
If you so wish.
Yeah?
There's so many movies I'd like to unsee.
Yeah. But which one most of all?
So for me, it's the ones with all those annoying sub-jobs in by Michael Bay. I think I enjoyed the first Transformers film. I think I enjoyed it. That's
I love all the sub-drops.
Yeah,
Did the second
No, the
one have...
sub-drop, nothing.
The
those
sub-drops are insane.
Sub-drops are a necessary component of all film trailers now. It has to be a warm song.
When do you ever have a transforming robot without a sub-drop?
it makes that sound. And then if you could do a super clip of the Transformers films with all of those moments, I'd watch it. I'd watch it right now. You put that in front of me and I'll watch that.
I've actually heard if you get the complete Transformers film and you could press it to 3 minutes, it's actually a Skrillex track.
I feel like what ruined it is in the last Transformers one, when he had he developed the materials, and the Transformers broke up into particles.
Your hero was in that film.
And what?
Your hero was in that film.
I know, he was brilliant.
Mark.
He was brilliant. Mark Wahlberg, amazing in that film. But the robots, they broke up into all these particles and flow through it, and they didn't do their...
I can't believe you got to the last film.
Which was the one that had
fucking dinosaurs in it. Did it? Yes!
Okay,
Dinobots.
this is the thing that gets me right. So first of all, the two robots, was it introduced in number 2? That were the brothers that were...
Oh, the trickster ones.
The tricksters, which
yeah.
were clearly... There was a target audience for them robots, right?
The mini-bots.
That annoyed me for a start. But also, every single trailer for the third film had dinosaurs in it. And yet the dinosaurs appeared for 7 minutes and 26 seconds at the end of the film.
At the very end.
That's marketing for you.
I'll tell you the
It's
other
got
side of things.
fucking dinosaurs.
I'll tell you the other side of things. The reason why that film went to China was because China would refuse to show a film unless a certain percentage of it takes place in China, and the characters in there that are Chinese are represented as better than the other characters, or intelligent, wise characters. So they have the ones that can fight really good. I think there was a woman in a suit or something that was like, follow me, and she knew where to go and everything. That's why the film was shown in China, and that's why China appeared in the film. And that's why I want to unseal them films.
Because China.
I'll take the 3 minute supercut, but I'm not going to take the sellout. I'm not going to take the adding in the robots for specific audiences. I will take all the fights. I would actually quite enjoy seeing. Which was the film that had the massive digger robot in it?
Second one again.
That was the second one, yeah.
How many has actually been?
4, I think.
Is it 4? I think I've seen 3 of them.
It might be 3, it might be 4.
Which one was the one with the big scorpion one? And
That was the first one.
tore people to shreds.
That was the first one, right?
Is it the first one?
Okay,
and they just digging through the desert.
Yeah,
The one that came out of the woman when... Is that not that one? Do you remember what's the first
Pretty sure
one?
it's the first one.
When Shire's on the bed and the girl's on top of him. Like
That's the second one.
That's
That
the
is
second
definitely the second
And then
one.
there's some.
Are we
spike
sure
thing
this is
comes out.
Transformers we're talking about?
That's not the one I'm talking about. It's like when the military's in the
search,
desert. The military's in the desert and they're running away from this scorpion.
Yeah,
That's the first one.
that's the first one.
Yeah. But
When you
it's
said
like-
scorpion, I pictured like scorpion tail.
It is like the most brutal scene out of the entire of all of the films because he's just ripping military people apart. This is not PG.
Get rid of the story.
When you first see Optimus Prime with a sword in like the big
Right.
field sequence and he's like mowing through people, that's a badass fight scene. But I got confused when they started adding a plot because I'm not sure what they were trying to do with it.
I think Transformers was ruined for me when they introduced Shia LaBeouf as the main character, just because he's terrible.
Which was straight away.
Yeah, spoiled for me. I think the redeeming factor was that Megan Fox was in it.
So you're sitting in the
Yeah, but
cinema,
she
you see Shire.
vanished after the second one.
Yeah, so that's when he dropped out for me. Yeah.
And then Marky Mark came in.
And that's when you
And then
showed
it
up.
went to the top!
I have one more, and I'm just going to jump in there quick before we talk about Transformers for an hour and a half, which is one that I would like to see again. Or I'm going to go with there was a TV series and a game, and I can't pick between them, but I'm probably going to go with Final Fantasy VII. Do you know what I mean? I want to cry again at the end of this one.
The
I want
film
to bawl
or
my
the-
eyes out.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, not the film.
Advent Children.
No, don't.
It's so good.
You said good, sorry.
It's so good.
Let's talk about that.
Fucking love that film.
What's the plot?
Have you played the game?
I actually don't know.
There it is.
Don't ruin it for me.
The plot was the
The fucking sin comes out of the fucking earth and wrecks shit.
The plot from the Advent Children was the geostigma.
Yeah.
When
the
they're all
sickness.
getting ill.
Yeah.
That's terrible. And then all these new Sephiroths show up. But the game, I love it. Like, I absolutely love that game, and I want to be able to do the story again. I play it once a year. That's my once a year game. I'd love to be able to speedrun it, and I've seen people do it in 7 hours, and that makes me upset because it takes me a minimum of about 30.
We're back to Final Fantasy VII now.
Yes,
Yeah.
not
Okay.
not the film, it's bad.
The
It looks
film is Final
fantastic.
Fantasy VII.
It looks fantastic. It isn't.
It's based off.
It's the
It's got a
characters.
fucking cloud in it.
Yeah, we're not talking about what's that one? The spirits within that Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that. That's something that I haven't seen, and if I had, I would like to unsee it. I'm doing that into the future.
On the subject of Final Fantasy and unseeing things or unplaying them, 14 for me, the original 14, was unplayable because I recall the servers being all in Japan and spending the best part of a day trying to get onto the servers before we could even play it. So that spoiled everything Final Fantasy to me.
For the guys who don't have the context of that, the Final Fantasy 14 that I play sometimes now is called A Realm Reborn.
That one was okay.
It's a really good
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
It's, for me, that's a solid 7.5 out of 10.
Ironically enough, I liked it
Does
enough
not work
or
on
hated
console.
it enough to go back and play the Realm Reborn.
They tore down the original game. They gave them a final story, ripped it down, and made a new game, and called it Final Fantasy 14: A Realm Reborn. And it is new. I think you've had a little go of it. At
I think my only ever experience of Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy 13.
And we'll get to that later.
While we're on the
We will get to that later.
Because that came out, was it?
Don't stop me.
That was PS3, right?
We got that PS3 because we went to Sutton and
Yeah, because that was like a
Games
massive
Station.
deal.
Yeah.
I'm also
I-
not a massive Final Fantasy fan either.
And I was sucked in on that particular one. I got like the exclusive
You got the limited
walkthrough
edition
guide and
walkthrough.
also with like the
got a
serial,
number on it.
serial number and
Yeah.
all sorts on it.
Ever opened it?
Still in the cellophane.
And we're giving it away as the competition that I'm in. That's it.
But yeah, that is my only ever experience of Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
That's unfortunate. Yeah.
We will get into that a little bit later because it looks like your hands on your leg from where I'm sitting.
It's that kind of fun.
So Final Fantasy VII, I play it again given the opportunity. If I could forget the story and go back in and do it again, it'd be magic. I'd love that.
Well, you might get to play it again, HD remastered.
I'm very excited. Slash around.
that
Story will probably be the same, but
There is it's that they were and ahhing for a while, obviously because of the rights to the soundtrack. Because obviously
He's not involved. Nobuo Uematsu
Yeah.
is not involved in the remake.
yeah, exactly. So there was a lot of the issues were revolving around music, as far as I'm aware. But mine, there's quite a few actually. If I were going to look at games that I could unsee, following on the tradition of actually revisiting something that you loved, for me, similar to Final Fantasy, would be Lost Odyssey.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I did not like the look of that game when it first came out. I did not like the look of the graphics. I wasn't sold on the trailer. And my brother convinced me to actually play it, and within an hour I was hooked. And just as you said, it is the only game I've ever played in my life where I actually cried after the end of the first disc when the plot develops, and I had never been attached to a game like Lost Odyssey. And unfortunately, when it's an RPG, you're going to play for 80 hours plus. There's only so it doesn't necessarily have that replayability.
Yeah.
And it's one of those where if you haven't played it, I really recommend playing it. It's just everything they do. So when they tell you a flashback, they don't do a cutscene. They actually tell it you in a story format. So they just play music and have text appearing on the screen, which you may think is lazy, but it's even better because you can actually imagine it and like envisage it, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But
what platform was that?
On Xbox
360 that was.
Yeah, back in the day.
I think I have a 360 somewhere.
Who was the director?
I've got a 360.
Final Fantasy.
Sakaguchi.
Yeah.
And Nobuo Uematsu did the music.
Yeah.
So these are the guys that did the original Final Fantasy games.
Was that that was before any kind of Final Fantasy that came out on that generation of consoles, wasn't it, as well?
Yes, as far as I'm aware. It was pre-13.
It was one of the games that I got with the 360, and because I think the last one was probably 12, and they took it into it almost looked, if you've played Final Fantasy 12, it looks like an MMO.
Yeah.
And it feels like an MMO, and you've got two characters that you don't control, and that was what they were looking for.
Is that similar to Realm Reborn?
Yeah, like with, when like when you're targeting something and the thing comes out of your head, and it looks like that.
Oh, okay.
But it's any single player experience, so it's quite a good crossover.
Okay.
Lost Odyssey to me was Final Fantasy 12. It's what Final Fantasy 12 should have been.
Yeah, it definitely took a step back and went into that. Okay.
But in regards to unseeing things, there I could probably list a huge ton of Marvel movies. The particular one would be Spider-Man 3, which came up in conversation this week, and I was talking to him about a friend, and for a good 30 minutes I just pretended it didn't exist because I just tried to convince him. I grew up on Spider-Man. I woke up on a Saturday morning and watched like Fox
Spider-Man.
TV, with the old cartoons, and I watched those like absolutely religiously. And then I got excited by the concept that Spider-Man movies were coming out, and then obviously Tobey Maguire's cast. I watched the first one, I enjoyed it, but I think it was more of I wanted to enjoy it. And then the second one obviously wasn't as bad. Then the third one came out, and then as soon as he dressed up like an emo and the BG start playing as he's walking down the street, and I was like, just shooting out. I can't.
I feel like I'm happy I haven't seen this film either.
Yeah,
See, I'm completely infatuated with anything that Marvel does, like except for the first Captain America.
I like that one. I quite like that.
I think I saw that at the cinema.
I didn't like the look of Captain America. I didn't know how he can look that camp in a costume and then pull it off. And they did. They actually made it quite a good film.
I feel like, to be honest, I should have watched the second Captain America to validate the first one, because I feel like it was a lot of build up for nothing. Like, it built up. We saw the Red. What's his name? Red Skull.
Red Skull, yeah.
Red Skull. We saw Red Skull, and then it ended.
Second Captain America is probably the best
Winter
MCU
Soldier?
movie to date, The Winter Soldier.
Oh, get out!
Haven't seen it.
Get
That's
out.
a bold. That's bold.
I'm gonna have to watch.
Have you
it now
not
because-
seen the original Fantastic Four?
Have you seen the new one?
I haven't.
Although Captain America's in that one as well, so
Yeah,
swings
yeah.
and roundabouts. That is the best Captain America film.
No,
I've got to be honest, any Marvel property outside of the MCU, so the X-Men owned by Fox, Fantastic Four owned by Fox, anything outside of the MCU, Spider-Man's now in it, I mean Sony's give it back finally, but anything, they have never really...
Sony.
What about Blade?
Yeah, Blade was good.
Until the third one. Yeah.
Like most things, when it gets to the third one, there's not...
They should probably stop at 2.
Yeah, like there's
They
not
really
much
should
ground you
stop
can
at 2.
really retread
It
and
makes
still keep it
makes you
interesting.
think, like, screenwriters and producers and directors, like, you'd think they'd learn.
Yeah.
Like, we're
Just
only going
stop
to
putting
make
villains into films!
we're only going to make 2 of these films.
Oh my!
George Takei's directing Marvel now.
You would make great movies.
Brilliant.
So, what was it you were unseeing?
Was unseeing has to be. Some people may disagree. No, in fact, the world will agree that the Phantom Menace should be unseen by the world.
Unseen to never be seen again.
To never be
Let's
seen.
confirm
In
that.
fact, we could probably-
I like it, man.
No, because in fact, once you've got the Phantom Menace, you can throw in the other 2 bags of shit that were with it as well. So let's just hope Disney come out with something that's nice and pretty.
I didn't understand character development in film
You
until
don't
they
understand
introduced
Star
Jar Jar
Wars.
Binks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See, I think he's the only issue Phantom Menace.
No.
I think Darth Maul,
Darth Maul.
although underdeveloped,
Yeah. He's
probably one of the better villains
I
in
like
the
Darth Maul.
series.
I have a little feeling he'll be back.
Dual lightsaber.
He was cut in half, but his eyes were open the entire time.
Well, he came back in the Clone
It's like
Wars
Dirty Dan.
cartoon that was released by Disney.
Yeah.
They revived him somehow. I didn't watch it, but,
He'll pop up in EastEnders in a
Yeah.
few weeks' time.
yeah, I think the Phantom Menace out of the
He's
original,
under the pub.
out of the prequel trilogy, I think that's the better one of the 3.
No, they were all bad.
Yeah,
They were all
we can
terrible.
agree they're all bad.
And that was the beginning of the bad.
It's the only one I've seen out of the 3
Oh.
because I don't like Star Wars. I'm gonna.
So you say it's the only seen out of 3. What about the 6?
I've seen the original. I've seen the original 3. And I do like Star Wars, but I've never been on that hype. I've never been on that bandwagon. So I've never had that strong feelings. Like obviously the new movie's coming out, and I'm not really too fussed because the actual universe itself, I've never been too attracted to. I think I'm more of a fantasy medieval than a sci-fi.
Sci-fi, yeah. I can get where you're coming
You
from.
like going backwards rather than forwards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Ewan McGregor is a great Obi-Wan Kenobi. You can't deny
Yeah, he's
that.
okay.
Oh, yeah. No.
And obviously
he's a cheeky
Liam Neeson's
Jedi,
in
isn't
it.
he?
Liam
Cheeky
Neeson's in it,
Jedi.
so I can basically just wank all over that. So
Yeah, well, why did they kill Liam Neeson?
the man's a genius.
He was
God.
too busy being Aslan,
You
too
should-
busy saving his daughter.
That scene in The
They
Phantom
should-
Menace was the best scene in the film where he's
Yeah.
got to sit there and wait while the fight's going on.
Yeah.
And you see
Good
Darth Maul like dragging his lightsaber on the floor, and he's the epitome of the dark side. And
So sick.
he's sitting there on his knees, just kind of staying calm. He's the
How
epitome
fucking
of the
far
light
did that
side.
get him, eh?
Come chucked it.
Darth Maul's like ever since I saw that film. Like, when did it come out?
I think it was like 1999, wasn't it?
1999. I
I'm
would
trying
have
to
been.
picture the McDonald's toy.
Yeah, I remember.
Just pre-millennium, I'm sure it was.
If it
And
was
Jar Jar
19
Binks things with the tongues, which they with them sticks
Yeah,
things and
yeah.
puts them back in.
If it was 99, I was fucking 6, dude.
Whoa.
Like, and
So innocent.
I loved that guy.
Yeah.
Like, Darth Maul was a
I think
fucking
when I was that age,
idol.
Space Jam came out.
Space Jam. Yeah,
I was
And
all
I
over
was Space Jam, so that's
Jam.
probably
All over
I-
Space Jam.
I
I
understand
was-
where
I
you're
was-
coming from.
all over Space Jam, yeah. But Darth Maul was like,
Do you want to know the release date?
Yes, please, yeah.
July the 16th, 1999.
Oh, we're on it. We are on it.
So you were 6 years old when that film came out.
I was nearly 6.
I'll be 11. Maybe
Wow,
11.
we're old
So,
then.
Yeah, it was yeah, because we started secondary school in 2000. That's the number that's on my photo.
Anyway,
But I wasn't. So
yeah, that's what I would definitely like to unsee, or maybe have it rewritten in such a way that didn't involve Jar Jar Binks,
yeah, just
or the people that spoke, all the people that spoke like retards.
they were in the jungle and they were like, we need to find someone who can help us.
What was wrong with the cuddly bears? What was wrong with them?
The problem
Ewoks.
is they rolled a 20-sided dice and it came up 1. That's exactly what happened.
What if you had the option and someone said to you, I'm giving you the opportunity for us to remake The Phantom Menace. However, it has to be made by Michael Bay. Jar Jar Binks could be played by Shia LaBeouf.
It already makes it sound better.
Do it!
Can you do that in Jar Jar's voice?
What?
Can you do that in Jar Jar's voice?
What, do it?
Misa, do it or something. Misa, just do it. Okay, what would you unsee to experience again?
Unsee to experience again.
Yeah, like for the first time, like something that you've really loved and you wish you could do it again.
There's probably several, but the one that springs to mind after speaking about it recently is probably the first BioShock.
Yeah.
Because I found it incredibly terrifying, yet me and scary don't really go together very well, as most people know.
Which you will find out on Twitch.tv. Raptor Attack very, very soon.
Yeah.
Raptor Attack UK, excuse me.
And, you know, I think the opening scene to that was just incredible, where you crash land in a plane and you swim to a lighthouse. No one really
That
knows
opening
what's going
scene was
on.
incredible. All the fires
Yeah.
everywhere. And
Fires, and you go into the lighthouse and you go down, and
I was
so I kind of
I was
get it wrong.
kissing our walking mascot over there.
But yeah, like going into the elevator and it going down, and you can all you see is shadows and then blood splatter everywhere and stuff. So that was pretty epic for me.
No, cameraman.
What's your liquid everyone?
Asserting her dominance.
The first Bioshock I think was incredible. Even just the playthrough, the walkthrough. I like the fact you had to conserve your ammo. You couldn't just go and burn bullets on everything, and you had to really sort of work through it. And the twist at the end was epic.
Okay, well we're going to get a hat that says spoiler on it, and we'll put it on and talk about spoilers.
Would you kindly?
Have we all played Bioshock 1?
I haven't played a single Bioshock.
I won't spoil it.
We're way past the
Would you kindly play
time that you can spoil something with Bioshock 1, but I haven't
Would you
played it yet, and I think I will.
I can't see myself playing a Bioshock in the future.
I think I will when a Steam sale pops up.
I think it was one of the first games that truly managed to create an immersive atmosphere. I don't know how to describe it.
It was atmospheric.
The atmosphere of being in this underwater city, and I think they really balanced not necessarily the horror, but that tone they got right. So it wasn't necessarily a horror game, but there was jumpy bits.
It wasn't scary horror. It was kind of like thriller horror. It kind of built it up to be scary with the build up and the atmosphere, and also like the artwork they used. I thought that was brilliant for it. Like all the vending machines and stuff where you can get all your Adam and Eve from.
I've always got the impression that it's kind of like steampunk, isn't it? Like,
is
that?
To that extent, it is quite steampunk.
I think I only played the game right up to where you first get your powers. And it's quite early on. I realised it was actually a little bit scary.
Yeah,
and then I stopped playing.
Yeah. Which is what I normally do when these games are happening, like Fear and even like the latest Dooms. Like I played them for 10 minutes and thought, ooh.
Is that a thought? Your body didn't shudder, but your brain did.
My brain did.
Well, like Mr. Birds.
Yeah. But yeah, Bioshock, fantastic.
I think I'm going to ruin the fun, and both of the answers are the same thing.
Interesting.
So
interesting concept, man.
Yes, throw in a spanner in the works.
Jam it in there. Let's go.
Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, okay. No, I'm interested in this. Here we go.
Because fucking loved that game, but I feel like I shouldn't. I feel like it's something that I never should have got into, and I never
Are you not a Disney fan?
I like Disney. I'll watch fucking Peter Pan. You know.
And are you an RPG fan?
Yeah.
So love Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I do. That's the thing. But
so
like,
why should
be
you
yourself.
not like it?
No, but
be
like,
yourself.
It's the same as like us now going and playing fucking Skylanders. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, guys, we should totally play Skylanders.
Yeah. What's this wizardry? What's that?
When did you play Kingdom Hearts?
it was late into PS2. Like I had it cheap, like pre-owned.
Yeah, I can see what you mean, but like if you look at say Blue Dragon for example, which was that was on 360, and that was, you could say aesthetically was quite a childish looking game.
Akira Toriyama was the artist.
Yeah, the artist.
Dragon Quest style artist.
It was made by the same guys who made Lost Odyssey, so a lot of people considered it.
I mean, it kind of looks a lot like Final Fantasy.
People who wrote Final Fantasy with the person who wrote Dragon Ball Z is Blue Dragon.
Yeah.
Now that
it looks the actual plot line and the actual story it's incredibly childish.
I'd follow the anime, which was about 8 episodes long.
Yeah, I'd say arguably more childish than Kingdom Hearts, but it was still a very, very good game.
Yeah, I mean, like it's emotional. It's full of emotion and story, and you can get connected to the characters in a way that I feel like a lot of Disney movies wouldn't even allow you to. But in the game, because Mickey and Goofy are dragging you through this plot line, and you're killing bad guys with a fucking key. Like
that sounds like me at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
But put them between my fingers. I've got a front door key, back door key, and a car key.
Car keys as well.
I feel like I want to go back and get that time back and do something else with my life, because I played it a lot.
How old were you when you played it?
But again, like I don't.
So I figured out the medium. You get your time back, right? You never played it, and you played it through start to finish, but not do anything extra, and then go away. So let's say you get back 45% of your time.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll do that. But like, I don't know. I love the game. I love the combat system. Like, you've got a boss fight, and it's telling you to punch these buttons, and it's doing this fucking cinematic for you. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it was a stress-free game.
Or when you do the Little Mermaid section, I could not beat the boss there. I couldn't. I don't know if I was on a hard difficulty, but there's all these like whirlpools or whatever they're called coming at you, and twisters or whatever. And like I'm doing this boss fight for like 45 minutes. I'm doing something wrong. Yeah, obviously because it's a boss fight in Kingdom Hearts. It's not 45 minutes.
I don't like.
I sold it.
I mean, people talk about like Dark Souls being like an extremely hard game, but like since playing Kingdom Hearts, I haven't got excessively stuck on a boss.
Does Kingdom Hearts trained you for that? So
no, I don't mean it's trained me for it, but like there's always tricks, isn't there?
And Kingdom Hearts will teach you that, because that's why I got stuck, because I was how many years old trying to beat, who's the
fucking, I don't know,
purple bitch?
Oh, fucking Ursula.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
What a bell end.
I mean, but there's a lot of games that will just spell it out for you. It's like you got another boss that's got tentacles like Ursula, like, and it'll put a health bar over the tentacle. It's like I've clearly got to kill each tentacle one by one.
Maybe I didn't see that. Maybe I had the wrong kind of TV. You know?
No, well, Kingdom Hearts probably didn't have that. My memory's a little fuzzy, but like
I've just started to play through of it again because my other half is obsessed with Disney.
Yeah.
And obviously me being Final Fantasy, and I've just tried to bridge the gap. She's actually playing it. She's enjoyed it a little bit. It's just that it's on the PS3, no backwards compatibility. I'm not getting the PS3 out every time she wants to play it. Every time I want to play it.
I feel that was a big mistake.
Is it because of all these HD remasters? And I know that they're making money from the HD remasters, but here's a massively interesting fact. They came out and said that 80% of people who own a PS4 never played any of the Uncharted series. And you talk about that being the big seller on the PS3, their Tomb Raider, their mascot, even though PS3 kind of never ended up with a mascot unless you lived in Japan. It was a weird cat thing. Go with the cat. If in doubt, go with the cat. So the fact that 80% of people didn't play it, they weren't concerned with backwards compatibility. They were going to release these HD remakes. And even if I played some of number one, and I played it very, very early on, so the patches weren't in yet, it was crashing at certain places, so I never finished it. I'm really thankful for that being re-released on that. Backwards compatibility, things like Kingdom Hearts, yes, but they acquired Gaikai, which is a cloud streaming service.
Okay.
And now they've got that PlayStation Now, they're monetising the fact that they haven't introduced backwards compatibility. And that's genius until Xbox went, we're going to let you do it. We're going to give you that backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
But they're
limited
titles feeding it. It's like next month there's going to be one new backwards compatible game, and you've got like 3 million Xbox games on each shelf, and you're like, come on.
Please be one of these.
Come on, Viva Pinata.
Already backwards compatible. Yes! I've checked. Already backwards compatible.
I'm getting the Xbox.
I'm overly excited for the new Ratchet & Clank coming out in April.
Yeah, and they're not remaking Jack, so this is a conversation to have.
Ratchet & Clank was...
Ratchet & Clank is life.
I'm a Ratchet guy.
I was on the Jack and Daxter bandwagon, and I didn't jump on the Ratchet & Clank one. I played the first one, but I was all about Jack and Daxter, and I'm
a Ratchet
heartbroken they have never continued that story.
Would you unsee Jack and Daxter so you could play it through again?
Yes, but probably more Jack 2.
Jack 2.
Jack 1 was very, like Crash Bandicoot, very childish almost.
Which was the one that was Grand Theft Auto, like...
That was like 2.
That was 2. Because I remember we used to go to Alex Pearce's house, and the dance mat would be out, but it was Jack that put the dance mat away.
Yeah.
And then it was Jack and Daxter from that point. Yeah. It doesn't sound like a big deal, but we'd go there and leave. We'd spend like 3 hours just going...
Did you ever do that with the old, especially with like the PS1, PS2, when you had the dance mat and you just like couldn't be bothered to get a controller, so you'd actually try and
play the game on the dance mat.
It's brilliant with fighting games. I highly recommend it. So 2 dance
actually
mats.
kicking.
Yeah, like it's a workout. You just
so that's how Eddie Guerrero played.
Yeah. That's why he doesn't stop moving around.
Have we done your...
No.
So let's go.
But I haven't gone with one that I would want to unsee out of negativity.
Okay. Re-experience.
Yeah, definitely the only game I'd ever want to replay and forget would be The Last of Us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hands
I
down.
haven't played it and I still want to play it.
You know what I actually thought you were going to say?
Also not played
Pokemon.
No, because I can play that over and over again. It's still the same experience every single time.
Yeah.
Pokemon's
amazing, man.
I want to completely forget Pokemon and start over.
Yeah,
Pokemon, for me, doesn't have that much story in it for me to warrant wiping my memory of it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, don't delete your save. When it's something like that. The original save's still there.
And I want to experience the joy of finding these new Pokemon over again.
And not knowing what they are.
Yeah.
And not being like with the new generations, why does this one look like an ice cream?
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't want to play the new game, but then if I go and play the old game, I've walked up Route 101 1,000 times already. I've caught Pikachu over and over again. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I know there's still the magic there. The magic is still there.
He's in Viridian Forest, bro.
For me, Pokemon isn't about the like ground level. What you see is what you get. There's so much underneath in that gameplay, mechanics and all sorts that just open it up once you know about it. The breeding aspects,
EVs.
the fighting, EVs and IVs, and all these stat improvements you can get. That's what it is for me. The replayability is there, so I wouldn't want to forget it.
The point where you learn when not to give a Firestone to Eevee.
Yeah.
It's the most wasteful thing that you
The
can
world,
ever do.
yeah, because
You go Jolteon and you stay Jolteon.
forever.
Okay, let me rephrase it. I want to re-go at my current age,
Yeah.
where
Okay.
I feel like I can go into those extra aspects. Like when I was first playing it when I was a kid, like all I wanted to do
Just
is
catch Pokemon and
catch Pokemon. Like I didn't even want to catch Pokemon. I had one Pokemon. He was level 100 and he was kicking butt.
See, I never done that. I judge people that do that. I was awful in that. Like almost my entire Pokemon bank was similar levels because someone had level up and I'd throw them away and get somebody else out. Like
See, that's how you're
I
supposed
would
to do that.
grind, and then. But the thing is, though, is as soon as I've got to the max level, like you get level 10 butterfree, you're like, see ya. It's like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not leveling you
you're
up
done.
anymore.
I don't
You
know
are
that
wasting
butterfree.
experience. Like go away and get someone else.
Are you going to evolve? No, we'll get back in the box.
It's good. I always approach it from a collector's point of view.
Yeah,
so-
I mean, that's how you're supposed to. You're supposed to complete the Pokedex. I don't know what happens when you complete the Pokedex. Does anybody?
you get some shitty items.
Is there a
that-
certificate
Yeah,
or-
there's all sorts of
Everyone,
bullshit.
you go to Celadon and you go in the building that you got the Eevee from.
Spoiler alert.
You speak to a guy. I think there's people who are supposed to be working at Game Freak, but they put themselves in the game. And you speak to the guy and he gives you some kind of certificate.
I know, and the one of the
That's some
games.
bullshit.
If you could print it with the Game Boy camera, that'd be ideal. But
If you caught all the Pokemon, they gave you like this special item that allowed you to catch shiny Pokemon more.
doesn't it like double your chance
Yeah,
of finding?
it's-
But what is the chance of finding one? Like 1 in 6,000 or something?
Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Maybe more than more.
I've
than
never found a fucking shiny Pokemon.
Yeah,
No, me neither. I didn't even
Yeah,
know these
very,
were a
very
thing.
rare.
So The Last of Us.
yeah. Last of Us for me is the pinnacle of game storytelling.
Yeah.
Naughty Dog mastered game storytelling in that game, and I think to be able to
Crash Bandicoot. But go on.
Naughty Dog's whole brand of games across the board is just phenomenal.
They're not a first party, they're like a
Yeah,
champion
They are
party. Do you know what I mean?
champions. But no-
And they're Sony's, which is crazy.
and that is the only game, like you with Lost Odyssey, the only game I've ever physically cried at. There's a point in that game you haven't played. I'm not going to say.
Yeah,
There's a point in that game
I've not played it.
that literally.
Pal thinks
Do
you're
you know when
further,
you've
but-
watched anything and you literally stood there and you got no words,
It's just like
you just blank, you're just like,
Yeah, Eagles lost to the Panthers.
I was similar to
This
that.
week's Walking Dead.
I was similar to that at the end of the cinematic in StarCraft 2, the first one, Wings of Liberty. When
But no.
she walks away with Kerrigan, he walks over with Kerrigan, and she's just like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. I haven't played The Last of Us, and it is still on my list of things to purchase and play.
that's bucket list material, that game is.
Isn't it?
Now you said that, I want to go and play
Yeah.
it because
My PlayStation broke with a week before it came out, and I never got another one.
my girlfriend's brother's
that.
still got it on his shelf, so I'm gonna have to go and
Nick it.
nick it and play
But
it.
yeah, it's. But the gameplay as well, it's just all fluid. It's not a game like open world like Assassin's Creed or Batman or all them games.
It's
It's
point
got
A to point
it's
B.
got a linear path, and that makes the game better.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't let you go wander off and lose focus.
I mean, you
It
experience,
puts you down this story like
you
a
experience
movie.
the game the way that they want you to.
Yeah.
experience
Yeah, I'm not a
it.
massive fan of the whole open world sandbox thing, just because like there's so much to do, it
You can get
becomes
lost.
almost like a chore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what was
Witcher 3.
Which is too much.
Oh, don't start bad, Nathan.
No. It's just that the fact that it's so open,
Yeah.
but there's so much to do that I couldn't play.
It's actually not that open. Like I know they preached a lot for it that it was just going to be this open world experience, but it's not. It's more like Fable 1 on a larger scale in that
Fucking
it's
love
open
Fable.
world within this region. So you have these
So
these three key regions within the world, and everywhere else on the map's inaccessible. So if you're in this one location and you get to the edge of the map, it goes, oh, this place is uncharted, it's dangerous here, turn back, and then it'll reload and put you in the map again. You have to fast travel to the other areas. So it's open world to an extent, and it does it really well. Whereas obviously, if you compare it to games like Skyrim and Fallout, where 12 hours on, you completely forgot what quest you're doing, and you've just gone walking willy-nilly across the map.
It's like why I was moaning the other day about Borderlands. I've been playing the pre-sequel, and just like I feel like I said to you guys, I feel as though if there was two of us, like you'd be able to carry on with the story and get to the end and defeat bosses as you wanted to. But because I'm playing on my own, I feel like because the story's so good, especially if you know the story of like Handsome Jack and like all that through 1 and 2. It's explaining all that backstory.
Okay.
No spoilers, but like you're like, I want to know the next bit of the story. I want to go. Like, and the game wants you to go and do these side quests so you can level up.
Yes.
To be able to do the next bit, but you're like story. You get into this boss and it's fucking one-shotting you.
Yeah.
So you have to go away and grind so that you can know what happens next. It's infuriating.
It's hard for games to get that sort of level of letting you have the freedom to do side quests, but also keeping you on track with story and keeping you leveled up enough to continue the story.
The Witcher got that wrong, and that's the one gameplay mechanic that I didn't like, because if you do a side quest too early, too late, no experience points, because that isn't what the game wanted you to do.
No, you still get experience. If you do it too early,
Fantastic.
they're going to be more difficult, or so they all have level rankings. Like for example, if you play Skyrim and you're going across the map and then a giant just comes and backhands you and you die, that's your fault. Witcher does kind of pre-warn you. You do have a lot of things around the map that they have levels attached to them, so you know what to avoid.
Okay.